I want revenge. I want to be winner. I want to win him. But I mean that I lost, and I don't like it. I want to win. I want to prove myself that I could win him.
All athletes doesn't like to lose, and they want revenge. A little bit different. I still want to be undisputed, and now I want to revenge.
Dmitry Bivol is on a mission to reclaim his titles in the highly anticipated rematch against Artur Beterbiev. After falling short in their first encounter, Bivol has dedicated himself to an intense training camp.
I love this card top to bottom. You got the main event, which, listen, compared to the last fight, obviously what we saw in the first fight, it's not going to be a gangbusters type fight. But it's a very important fight for the weight class, for the divisions, for the pound-for-pound rankings.
Refining his skills and focusing on the areas that cost him victory the first time around. The rematch represents more than just a chance to regain his championships. It is a crucial step in his journey of redemption, one that could define his legacy in the sport. Former world champion and boxing analyst Chris Algieri has expressed his excitement for the upcoming bout.
Don't think about it at all. No, we just worked,
predicting an action-packed spectacle from start to finish. While he acknowledged that the rematch might not carry the same raw intensity as their initial clash, he emphasized its immense significance for the light heavyweight division. The stakes are incredibly high, as this fight has the potential to reshape the division's hierarchy and impact the pound-for-pound rankings. Algieri highlighted that the competition at the top of the division is fierce.
The people that understand boxing, that realise what they were watching, would have been on the edge of the seat, mesmerised by the skill level and the quality of both operators. Now, Bivol didn't get...
making this bout an unmissable event for boxing fans worldwide. Bivol's confidence heading into the rematch has been fueled by his dedicated sparring partners and his well-structured training camp. Those within his camp are eagerly anticipating a much improved performance from him, believing that he has learned from his previous mistakes. The Russian fighter has...
I think Bivol maybe needs to look a bit more interested, if that's fair, towards the end of the fight. Maybe around 10, 11 and 12, I think he needs to get more shots off because he finished slow. Beterbiev put it on him a little bit more. It looked like he wanted to be in there a bit more. It looked like he was trying to win and trying to get that.
Reportedly fine-tuned his strategy, making crucial adjustments to his approach against Beterbiev, whose relentless pressure and power...
mainly just his power. His power along with his aggression and with his subtle face. He never changes his expression, which is beautiful.
Proved to be decisive in their first encounter. Carl Frock.
Positions. Everything I have to do better. I have to be better Dmitry Bivol than today.
A former super middleweight, champion and respected boxing analyst.
I think it'll be very similar to the first fight. I think there'll be parts where Beterbiev's pressure is a little bit too much, and there'll be parts where Bivol's boxing ability and sharpness is having a lot of success, which I think we've seen both times in the first fight. I don't know, it's the age question again. Beterbiev was 40 a few weeks ago, and that was a tough fight, probably the toughest one of his career, and how much can your body...
Has also shared his thoughts on the fight. Frock, who has always been a keen observer of the sport...
age, and I don't know, I just think the longer we're waiting to fight, Bivol's that little bit fresher, and I think he might have a little bit more success and be able to weather the storm later on, and I think it'll be a very, very close fight, but I'm just leaning towards Bivol being that...
believes that only true boxing fans truly understood the nuances of the first bout between Beterbiev and Bivol. He mentioned that he had Bivol ahead on his scorecard for most of the fight, which makes the rematch all the more intriguing. Frock's analysis suggests that Bivol was successful in outboxing Beterbiev in the early and middle rounds, but failed to maintain the same level of control in the latter stages of the fight.
We got February 22nd, Bivol, Beterbiev. I think same outcome, Beterbiev. But rooting for Bivol. Hopefully he does better than the first time. If anything, I think Beterbiev is gonna hurt Bivol this time around. But kudos to Bivol, man. He boxed very well, but he just didn't show enough grit in the last championship rounds.
Frosch offered some valuable advice to Bivol, urging him to stay focused and remain active in the later rounds. According to Frosch, one of Bivol's critical mistakes in the first fight was allowing Beterbiev to gain momentum in the final 3 rounds. He pointed out that while Bivol displayed superior technical boxing skills throughout much of the fight, his inability to match Beterbiev's relentless pressure in the closing rounds might have cost him the victory. Frosch emphasized that judges often favor the fighter who finishes strong.
So for today, I think it'll be similar, because I don't think anyone could have argued with the first fight if it went either way, and I think we might see a similar claw. I think they're just very evenly matched. I think it could be hard to pick.
Do you think Bivol could perform better than he did in the first fight?
I don't know, because I thought he boxed very well early on. I don't know, maybe he obviously believed he could take the power, but I think now he knows he can. I don't know whether he was hurt and never really showed much, but I don't know. I think both will probably take belief from the first fight, knowing he'd been there and done it. And I don't know. I think that's the good thing about rematches. It's who's going to better the game. I think we may see a better version of Bivol, but you may see a better version of Beterbiev as well. So it's a lot of the time rematches are like a blank slate again. You've got to both go away and rethink and come back with maybe.
And in this case, Beterbiev's aggressive approach in the final rounds likely played a role in swaying the judge's decision. The first encounter between Bivol and Beterbiev was a fascinating clash of styles. Bivol...
What would your pick out be? Obviously the big one, Beterbiev and Bivol, the rematch.
Well, it's a great fight. The two best two light heavyweights in the world. Last time round, it was an excellent fight. They displayed all their skills.
Known for his exceptional technical ability, movement, and ring IQ, was able to control much of the fight with his sharp jab and quick footwork. His ability to move in and out of range while landing clean shots gave him an edge in the early rounds. However, Beterbiev, a fighter renowned for his knockout power and relentless aggression, continued to apply pressure as the fight progressed. His ability to cut off the ring and land heavy shots ultimately turned the tide in his favor.
As an athlete, all athletes doesn't like to lose.
A little bit different. I still want to be undisputed, and now I want to revenge.
And they want revenge. Always when they lose, they want to find what was wrong, what I did wrong.
I want revenge. I want to be winner. I want to win him. But I mean that I lost, and I don't like it. I want to win. I want to prove myself that I could.
Heading into the rematch, Bivol has made it clear that he intends to correct the mistakes that led to his defeat. Reports from his training camp suggest that he has been focusing on improving his endurance and his ability to sustain a high level of activity throughout the entire fight.
In the rematch, right? By stop.
Yeah, I got Arthur. And no excuses, but I think Arthur came and fought too fast off that surgery. I think this fight he gonna stop. I think this fight he go to the body more. He gonna stop Bivol.
You think it will be early, or you think it's gonna be a long, late round fight?
I think like probably 9 or 10. If Arthur starts to the body in the first round, I think he'll get him out of there about 9.
Bivol understands that he cannot afford to slow down in the later rounds, especially against a fighter like Beterbiev, who thrives on wearing his opponents down. Beterbiev, on the other hand, has remained as dangerous as ever. At 39 years old, he continues to defy expectations, showcasing his incredible power and resilience. His camp has been confident in his ability to repeat his success against Bivol, emphasizing that his strength, conditioning, and ability to apply pressure will, once again, be the key to victory.
Do you think Beterbiev won the first fight? It was a close fight. People will start saying stuff about robbery. I don't know about all that. It was a very, very close fight. Could have went either way. And the second fight, I see Beterbiev winning again, if I'm honest. But this time, if he goes to the body a bit more, I think he can cause more.
While some have questioned whether age might finally start catching up with Beterbiev, his past performances suggest that he remains as formidable as ever.
I think I'm going to go. Me and Scott Walsh are going to go over.
Well, finally, what's your prediction on that?
Beterbiev. When I was there, I thought Bivol won. when I was there watching the fight, I thought he won. I watched it on telly and I can see why they gave it to Beterbiev. Yeah. I can see why they gave it him. But there, because Bivol did it, but he did it like very uncomfortably. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there, I think he was catching a lot on his hands, his gloves as well. So, yeah, we'll do that after. I'm definitely going back with Beterbiev.
Another interesting aspect of the rematch is the potential implications for the light heavyweight division and the boxing world as a whole.
No, you have to fight with Beterbiev. If you can't box him, you've got to be very fit and very, very clever to outbox someone like that. The pressure, the cutting the ring off he does, and all this and that. You've got to be very clever and very fit, because I've been there, sparred him. He does not stop. The pace doesn't slow down. So you've got to stand there and give him something to think, oh, I can't come forward. You need to give him something like that. And I think Bivol's going to try and do that, and that's why he's going to get caught in the crossfire, and then that's why it's going to be night-night.
A victory for Bivol would not only allow him to reclaim his titles, but also set the stage for potential mega fights, including a long-discussed showdown with Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I mean, it's the only fight. You know, the first fight was not just a great fight, but, I mean, if you don't want to call it controversial, you can call it extremely competitive. I mean, for me, Dmitry won that fight, and we need to try and put it right, but Beterbiev's a great fighter, and I think the rematch...
On the other hand, a win for Beterbiev would further solidify his position as the dominant force in the division.
Bivol won that fight, to be honest with you. It was a close fight. It could have went... couldn't have won either way. I feel like Bivol won most of the rounds. He controlled most of the rounds, and his combination punching was better.
Do you think he wins the rematch?
I think he does.
Yeah. Is it different, or do you think it's more?
I mean, I don't know, because both those fighters are both high caliber fighters, so they can make adjustments. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the same fight or not. But if it's the same fight, I feel like Bivol
possibly setting up a historic undisputed championship fight down the line. The anticipation for this fight has been building for months, with fans and analysts eagerly debating.
It'll be kind of the same fight. It's going to be a really close fight. We've seen everything. Both of them were trying to do the best that they could. Both of them, the styles, kind of like work for each other. And I believe in the first fight, Bivol won. I think this fight, Bivol can win again. He's a little bit faster. He has more movement, and Beterbiev, he hits hard. And he's probably waiting for that big shot. And Bivol, hopefully he doesn't stay in front of him and get hit with a big shot. So I think
refining his skills and focusing on the areas that cost him victory the first time around. The rematch represents more than just a chance to regain his championships. It is a crucial step in his journey of redemption, one that could define his legacy in the sport. Former world champion and boxing analyst Chris Algieri has expressed his excitement for the upcoming bout, predicting an action-packed spectacle from start to finish.
By a little, I think he won by 1 point. Like I said, it was a very close fight. Either to me it could have been a tie. But they gave it to Beterbiev. So at the end of the day, I'm not a judge. But in my mind, I thought he did enough to.
While he acknowledged that the rematch might not carry the same raw intensity as their initial clash, he emphasized its immense significance for the light heavyweight division. The stakes are incredibly high, as this fight has the potential to reshape the division's hierarchy and impact the pound-for-pound rankings. Algieri highlighted that the competition at the top of the division is fierce, making this bout an unmissable event for boxing fans worldwide. Bivol's confidence heading into the rematch has been fueled by his dedicated sparring partners and his well-structured training camp. Those within his camp are eagerly anticipating a much improved performance from him, believing that he has learned from his previous mistakes. The Russian fighter has reportedly fine-tuned his strategy, making crucial adjustments to his approach against Beterbiev, whose relentless pressure and power proved to be decisive in their first encounter. Carl Froch, a former super middleweight, champion and respected boxing analyst, has also shared his thoughts on the fight. Froch, who has always been a keen observer of the sport, believes that only true boxing fans truly understood the nuances of the first bout between Beterbiev and Bivol. He mentioned that he had Bivol ahead on his scorecard for most of the fight, which makes the rematch all the more intriguing. Frok's analysis suggests that Bivol was successful in outboxing Beterbiev in the early and middle rounds, but failed to maintain the same level of control in the latter stages of the fight. Froch offered some valuable advice to Bivol, urging him to stay focused and remain active in the later rounds. According to Froch, one of Bivol's critical mistakes in the first fight was allowing Beterbiev to gain momentum in the final 3 rounds. He pointed out that while Bivol displayed superior technical boxing skills throughout much of the fight, his inability to match Beterbiev's relentless pressure in the closing rounds might have cost him the victory. Froch emphasized that judges often favor the fighter who finishes strong, and in this case, Beterbiev's aggressive approach in the final rounds likely played a role in swaying